We're here. So guys, your boy Good Savage back again. You already know what time it is. Let's talk Raw. WWE Raw review for 6/10/25, blood. Yes, blood. It's the Raw go-home show before WWE Crown Jewel. Perf, bro. I don't know how you can be a Crown Jewel when the place don't have a king. Surely it should be in Saudi Arabia. You should have called it something else, like the Showdown Down Under, or the King of the Kangaroos, or the Battles with the Billy Bong. I don't know, blood. But they should have called it something else. Big up to everyone in the chat. I hope you well. I hope you good. And for the redirect as well, bro. But yeah, man. Monday Night Raw, bro. Listen, obviously, man, see that I'm smiling now. I'm in regular good spirits, bro. You know, like that. I'm a bit hot dog. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I tried to, I ain't gonna get into it, blood. But you know how Raw moves, bro. Like at this point, I can't tell you how I'm gonna feel in the next 20 minutes or so, bro. But right now, listen, Raw sucks, innit? So I have to take the bits of Raw that's all right, run with that, and yeah, it is what it is, man. I ain't stressing. I'm not trying to get the cortisol levels up and that, bro. I ain't trying to see the GH Relin drive up and that. I'm not trying to get new body fat because I'm all stressed over Monday Night Raw. I can't do it, brother. It was the go home show, blood. Crown Jewel is this weekend, live from Australia, which means I can't speak for everyone else in the world. It's going to be at different times. I'm only happy because they put this dead show on, but it's in the daytime for me. It's early in the daytime, so in the morning, in fact, so I can just watch it, get out of the way, do my reviews, do my TikToks and that, and get on with my day. You get me? There's no Premier League football on that day as well, so I'm chilling. Do that. Watch horror movies. It's horror season, innit? It's Halloween time. Demon team got down to the demon sometimes, you know, like that. But first of all, how is everybody? How's everybody been doing? How's everyone's mental health, physical health? You know what I'm saying? I would say spiritual, but that's fugazi, bro. They ain't no spirits. But yeah, I mean, believe what you want. I just believe in science. I don't really want to go. Obviously, we'll do a rundown of the show at some point and that, but I just want to talk, bro, because my optimism died for Monday Night Raw a long time ago. But there's still a bit where I'm like, oh, maybe today. Now, one thing I will say is the biggest positive of Monday Night Raw, which is the biggest positive of every WWE show, and it's been the biggest positive since COVID. I mean, for me, for a long time, but for a lot of people since COVID, that positive is Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Roman Reigns. Those three remain as a positive. Now, they was getting to a point where they were treating Jey so bad that, and they were treating Jimmy so bad that he was wearing weird stuff and just rolling people up on SmackDown. But the 2 weeks alone that we've had Roman back and he's been in conversation with the previous bloodline, big up Morris, been a lot more interested now. I don't know which one of you guys or all of you on the chat, whether you watch the live show anymore or the whole show entirety, or you watch the highlights on YouTube, or you watch some extended highlights, because it does make a difference. Roman might not seem like a massive highlight to you if you're watching a whole 2.5 hour show, because it's a long show to have little bits of Roman sprinkled in. If you watch the highlights, it might make it look pretty good. We saw the story last week when Roman returned again. And the conversation that brewed in the ring between him and Jey at the end is, I'm not going to go verbatim. I don't have the quote in front of me, but he's basically in the ring telling Jey, it's your time. It's your time. Focus on you. Fuck them all. It's about family. And Jimmy was in the background giving the look like, oh shit, here we go again. Now, if you're a new wrestling fan and you've been a wrestling fan over the last 2 years, you won't know what we're talking about. Anyway, with a wrestling fan, you know that lockdown period where Roman and the bloodline dominated. Big up to people like Drew in that as well, even though I didn't like babyface Drew, but they put the work in. The whole storyline kind of started in the same way. The difference is it was Roman trying to get to the top. It was Roman trying to, I need the belt. I need the respect. I'm the head of the table. I need to focus on our family. I need to bring everything to the forefront for our family because we've been disrespected. I've been disrespected. And there's plenty of dynamics that happened previous to COVID where you could have drawn upon and gone, yeah, you know what? For this storyline anyway, or in general, Roman's been disrespected. Man are pouring dog food on him. He's having matches where Baron Corbin's in a toilet and that. It's dark. But I'm not going to pretend like Roman Reigns and Vince McMahon weren't trying to push Roman Reigns the whole time. He really was. So I hear it. That's fine. So the story was great. At the time, Jimmy had gone through a few things. He went through an injury where I don't know if he had broke his leg or torn a meniscus or something like that, but he was out for a long time, which meant that his brother Jay was left without a tag team partner. And at that point, there was no singles Jay Uso. There was no singles Jay Uso. So that's a pivot. Roman was on his own. Jay was on his own. Roman took Jay under his wing, tried to get him to join the bloodline, tried to get him to join Roman, had to almost beat it into him, which is what happened, by the way. It went old school movie style. He beat in the respect for Roman into it. He showed him that when you're with me, you'll win stuff, you'll be taken serious. And then Jay went on to start winning singles matches. He won the Andre the Giant Memorial. And he started to be taken a lot more serious. And that's how we got the Yeet in Jay today, all from what Roman did back then. Now, of course, those points throughout that where he was called main event Jay and he wasn't winning no main events. He was losing all of them. But it was fine. And then he was, the right-hand man to the tribal chief. Anything the tribal chief wanted, I'm scrapping, man. I'm beating man up for you. He needed Jimmy to fall in line. Jimmy came back and then he had his DUI problem with his drinking and stuff like that. They actually interwove it into the storyline, which was cold because it made that, I remember it was like he didn't actually acknowledge Roman at the time. He just gave him a hug and it was almost like, yeah, man, come in. I'm a savior and we're going to make sure that you're all right. And then we had it with Jay left and then Jimmy, go get your brother and make sure. So that was pretty cool as well, man. And it made for a great storyline. I'm not joking. Obviously, I'm a wrestling fan and that, but you could have took that storyline, put it as a movie. It would have worked. It really would have worked. And then we got the bloodline. We had Sami Zayn join after. Obviously, the Wise Man was already a part of that with Roman. And then we got what we got, man. And then for 4 years, we had some of the dopest TV we've ever had in wrestling, never mind COVID time. So that look on Jimmy's face, because obviously Roman started to manipulate his family and stuff like that, and everything was their fault. And if they lost a match, it was almost like, yo, you're letting down the family, you're letting down the great fathers, the uncles and stuff like that. How we're gonna eat? You're an idiot. If Roman really never lost, but if anyone lost, it's like, yo, that's your fault. You should have done this. This geezer lost because of you. So yeah, it was great. Obviously, we had the change of Roman once he lost the title. He returned and stuff like that. People call it babyface Roman. But then he came to Birmingham, UK about 4 weeks ago now, maybe a little bit more. And the promo that he cut there seemed like a regular Roman just yapping, but it seems like they're interwove it with what's going on now because Roman was talking about, I don't really know myself anymore. I'm trying to be a different guy. I'm not, but I could be. Then we get what we got last week. And what I didn't see while I was watching Raw last week, because it was so shit and fucking Paul Levesque's name come on the screen, is after he left the ring, I didn't see him walking up the ramp promo until I went back online after. Someone after let me know, was it online exclusive? But I watched it after and I was like, oh, he's talking shit to the camera. Remember, I'm still the tribal chief. I'm the man around here. I'm the number one. I was like, okay. We get this week. He's a little bit calmer. A few times in this today's episode, we'll get today's Raw, where he approached Jimmy and yeah, we'll get into the show, man, but he had a few words for Jimmy. He told Jimmy that I have eyes everywhere. I see everything. And what's your problem? Basically saying, what's your problem? Because what's wrong with Jay taking advice from me? Now, we know what's wrong with it. Because if it's heel Roman, he's going to become a narcissistic, paranoid, this demon who's just out for himself. I love it. I love it. And we got that interwove through today's show. So that's what I'm saying. We'll get to it properly, but that's what I liked about today's show, which that's the only positive, really. And now there's a few things throughout the show what was just like, I mean, it really is rinse and repeat. Like, I can't, you seen the thumbnail of the video, no creativity. I promise you, if you go through all my Raw reviews, thumbnails, they all look negative. And I'm not trying to push a narrative. The day they do something great and positive, I'm going to put that it was dope. But honestly, I put no creativity because we went from an era where We didn't know as fans, but we had got told or inside information that Vince McMahon doesn't like tag team. That was everyone said, which is weird because we all grew up on great tag teams being around. Now, they weren't dominating the show, and obviously back then there wasn't women tag team, so you'd get one tag team match a show, and then maybe you have like a main event where it's about to go into a pay-per-view, so The Rock and Triple H have to team up, or The Rock and Austin have to team up, and it was great. Triple H has a tag team fetish, bro. And now somebody who, like me, who loves tag team wrestling, I'm just bored of it. I like tag team wrestling where the teams, there's a key word in tag team, and it ain't the tag part, bro. It's the team. You throwing two people together every week, it's not a team, bro. It's two individuals in a match. We had Hardy Boys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the like New Age Outlaw. We don't even have to go that with Team Angle. We had all of these like different tag teams, different types, like APA, the smoking. Like we had loads. They were all completely different, and they had stories as well. Now, don't get me wrong, the storyline in tag team wrestling was a lot different. That was the one match that was usually focused on most of the match in it, because you don't really, when you think of the Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys, and the Dudleys, we don't ever think of, whoa, the story. There was the little story of the tables, ladders, and chairs, but we don't think of the story. We think of how great the matches were. That's fine to have just wrestling when the rest of your show's dominated by storylines and interwoven between, but when everything is just about wrestling and the tag teams ain't even proper tag team, it gets boring. That's why people got a bit hype on SmackDown when all of these people were together. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really like it, but Triple H has a fetish, bro, and I'm going to employ somebody to clip my videos and that, because I ain't got the time for it, bro, because people need to see that there's a pattern of what I'm saying, bro. And I need it to get back to WWE in some way, just so they can realize in it. Don't listen to me. Just take what I'm saying as a fan in it, not as someone who thinks they're a genius, bro. As a fan, because I watch it. It feels like they don't watch their own product. What was the thing that I came on the last Raw and said? The first thing I said to you guys was, every week, no shit. Anyone who's in the chat who was here last week, no shit, I said, and it's one of the first things I said, every week since, and I think I even went through the archive, didn't I, have the timing? I think it said WrestleMania maybe. Every week since the Division's been together, there's been some iteration of Braun, or Seth and the Usos, or one of them kind of people in the main event in a tag team match, bro. And I've not made it up. It's exactly the same. I said it last week, and this week, who was in the tag team main event again? The Usos, bro. Against another two singles competitors, CM Punk and LA Knight. 2 weeks before that, we had a fatal four-way. Week before that, we had another tag team. Week before that, we had another tag team. Then it was the Bronze. Like, it's creatively inept, bro. And I feel like they're phoning stuff in because who cares? It's a live crowd. And this is what I said. When you take away live shows, well, then the house shows become the TV shows, and the TV shows are now the house shows. So what happens at a house show? Let's give you an example for people that don't attend or people that watch wrestling casually and haven't been for years. At a house show, if we do a little circuit, I'm going to take the UK. So we go Birmingham, London, Manchester, Liverpool. 4 days. On those 4 days, you might have the same matches, bro, with one thing changed. Like, seriously, you might have the same. But the reason why it doesn't matter, one, it's only for the people in the house. So now, obviously, you can record stuff, put it on Instagram, and nobody cares. So it's for the people in the house. It's not televised. The wrestlers are they get to have a little bit more fun and interact with the crowd a little bit more. And there's no problem. The people in the town are happy because they don't get to see the wrestlers. And at least somebody's not missing out, because I wanted to see Roman and Jay. So the next town's like, how did they get to see Roman and Jay? I don't get to see you. That's how it used to be. Same with, I think when me and my son went, this was a few years, well, just before COVID, I think, we went to see WWE, and the main event was The Shield versus, I don't even know who they were against. I don't know if it was the Wyatts or somebody like that. But Roman Reigns wasn't there. He was sick. So what happened was, one of the nights, Triple H joined, I think it was in Brighton, Triple H joined The Shield for one night. So it was Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Triple H, and he was dressed the same. I saw on social media, okay, so what do we get to see the next day? I didn't mind seeing the same thing, but the next day, same thing, but Kurt Angle is part of the Shield, so I get to see Kurt Angle. That's what we're seeing on live TV, though, and it doesn't make for great TV because there's not one other TV program, not one, that you guys are happy to see a repeated episode week in, week out. We're not talking about this happened in 1999 and there's a reboot and this happened in 2025. I'm talking about take the best TV programs, take Breaking Bad, and this week, Walter White walks out of the building with the meth in his hand and he just blew up the building. The next week, Walter White walks out of the building with meth in his hand and he blows up the building. The week after that, Walter White walks out the same building with Jesse and the building blows up. The week after that, he walks out with Skylar and the building blows up. Brother, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that. It doesn't make sense. You would never see that in any other TV program, even sitcoms. That is the sitcoms are the TV program that runs the most in it. In England, we have things like EastEnders and Coronation Street that have been running episodic TV for years. Coronation Street's been running 60 plus years. EastEnders has been running 35 plus years. It's not the same every week, bro. It's not the same. Like Max and Stacey got back together this week. Well, they were together with each other. You think I'm going to see today's episode? It ain't happening, bro. It ain't happening. I don't understand how it's okay. I don't understand how anyone thinks it's okay just to keep repeating stuff. I don't mind callbacks to things. I don't mind going, you know what, remember when Shawn Michaels kicked Shelton Benjamin off the springboard and then years later, Dolph Ziggler kicked someone off the springboard. Oh, that's a callback. Fans are like, oh, remember when that happened? That's great. That's great TV. That's great TV. It's a callback. Hits nostalgia. I don't mind WWE doing callbacks. But you're doing callbacks from the week before, bro. The week before. What are we doing here? How are people supposed to enjoy the show? Why have you got all these great athletes, even the ones that I'm not interested in storyline-wise, but all of them are great athletes, all of them. I don't care what they look like, what they're built like. They're all great athletes because we can't do what they can do, bro. Nobody does what they do. How are all of these great singles athletes in tag teams, bro, every week just to pass the time? And now we can see that people are doing stuff to pass the time. I told you guys about the 18-minute promo, the 23-minute promo, same every week. Every week. The mid-promo, 11 minutes, same every week. The anime crying from the girls, same every week. Oh, let's throw Penta against somebody. Like, Penta is great, and he keeps getting put in a tag team. But the only tag team you don't want to put Penta in is his actual tag team partner and his brother. Brother, it don't make any sense, man. It doesn't make any sense. It's like putting Jeff Hardy with everybody but Matt. If you're going to put him in a tag team, if we put him with his brother, make a tag team. It's actually disgraceful TV at the moment. It's disgraceful, bro. You must be mad if you think I'm going to watch Raw live again. I'm not watching it live, bro. You're going to have to tell me something that's about to come up. I'll wait for it to finish on Netflix so I can skip through the things, bro. I'm not watching these wrestling matches. They're dead. They're dead, bro. Like, they don't mean anything, so what's the point? Maxine Dupree, she came, you know what, big her up. She's trying. She looks great and that. Some of the moves are a bit slow, but she's trying. I don't mind that at all. I'm not getting onto her. She looks the part. She comes out with Tozawa. They've mugged Tozawa off. Tozawa had a main event match the other day. Can't even remember who it was against. The match was great. Tozawa's not a dickhead, bro. Like, he was a 205. When he was on 205 Live and he was the champion, the cruiserweight champion and that. Cold, bro. Dickhead now. Becky can slap him up, but he can't hit her back. Maxine Dupree comes out to fight Becky today. Maxine Dupree gets the victory. Can somebody tell me what that victory means apart from I've got a win over Becky Lynch? I've got a win over the Intercontinental Champion, but I don't have the championship. And I won by count out. Great for her. What? You lot tell me next week how it's going to progress. You lot tell me at Crown Jewel is Maxine Dupree going to fight for the title? Because the answer's no, bro. And if she's going to fight for the title, she's definitely going to lose. None of us think she's going to win. So what's the point? Stop, bro. Like, listen, stories don't work when you already know the ending, unless the story is great and it's got great build, it's got great intrigue. We knew at the end of, and you know where I'm going to go with this, guys. You know we know that at the end of Endgame, Avengers, we know the Avengers are going to win, innit? We know they're going to win. You guess what happened? While I'm watching it, I'm not thinking the whole time Avengers are going to win this, even though I know they're going to win. But what don't I know? Well, I'll tell you what I didn't know. I didn't know Black Widow was going to die. I didn't know Tony Stark was going to die. I didn't know there's going to be 2 Thanoses. I didn't know Cap was going to lift the hammer. I didn't know he was going to do the Avengers Assemble thing. I didn't know all the Dons were going to walk out a portal. I didn't know man was going to click his fingers and blow half his face off. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know the movie was going to start with Thanos getting his head chopped off. Same ending. Ending was going to be the same. Avengers win. But did they win? They won, but they lose. They lose their friends. Wrestling, I'll tell you, bro. Just promote something with Cody Rhodes on it with his title on the line. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. He's going to win. It's why WrestleMania 40, the main event, was great, because I know everyone likes to have short-term memory loss and pretend that everything up to WrestleMania 40 was great. It was shit. We were having the same conversation then with Sammy and Gunther and all that. We're having the same conversation. The difference is the execution of said movie was great, and it was like Endgame. What happened? Well, okay. Well, first of all, you got flipping this tag team match with Roman and The Rock on night 1 against Cody and Seth. Whoever wins, stipulation, bloodline rules. Okay, we're going to the next day. Bloodline rules, we don't even know what that means, and it don't really mean much. We have this end game level event where John Cena comes out and helps, man. Undertaker comes out and helps, man. Seth comes out. The Avengers have assembled. They've come to save Cody. If you ask us before the promotion, is Roman going to win? We all said Roman's going to lose. But we didn't know how. We didn't know how. I was sad that Roman lost, but I wasn't complaining about the show at the end of it. I was like, this was great. So you have to have some intrigue, but when there's no risk, if there's no risk in these matches, then the reward is irrelevant. That's why I'm going to give Becky this because she's trying, so leave her title. The US title, both of them don't mean anything. They don't mean anything, bro. The Intercontinental title with Dom Scott doesn't mean anything. You know why? Because Dom was in a tag team match today. The WWE title that Seth got doesn't mean anything, bro. It doesn't mean anything, bro. The tag team titles, both sets, they don't mean anything. I don't know how we've got to a point. Where titles in WWE don't mean anything. I remember pre-pandemic, The Miz. I remember, was it Raw 20? You remember Raw 25, was it? I remember The Miz having an Intercontinental title and making it seem like the most important thing on the show. And because Brock Lesnar had the Universal title, it was the most important. And he made it seem amazing. It was the white strap. He turned up, if I'm correct, they did half of the Raw show in the arena and half of the Raw show in, like, not Madison Square Garden, but where Raw started. The Miz went to both of them. He went to the main one, jumped in his car, went across to the other one, got in the ring with DX, got beat up. Bro, I'm telling you, man. Yeah, you're right, Morris. Sammy's trying, but is he trying now? Because, like, no, Sammy's trying, but the reason why I'm going to reject what you're saying is Sammy's trying, but the title's not important. The reason why, so you're just going to do, every week's going to be an open challenge. That's not a story. That's not a story. And you're going to keep winning. You fought Javon Evans. Wow. You fought Ray Phoenix. Wow. Okay, you fought John Cena, bro. No contest, no rematch, no? Like, whatever, innit? It's good wrestling. It's good wrestling. Big up, Zach. This is the wrong Raw to rant about. First of all, I'm not ranting, I'm talking. Second of all, hey, listen, if you think it was a great show, everyone, I'm happy for you, bro. It wasn't a great show to me. And you couldn't convince me otherwise. And now we're going to break down the show. And I'm going to tell you why. But you think it's great already, so good for you, man. I've told you already, bro. If they're going to put this Raw on every week, I need somebody to be happy about it. Don't waste your time. But anyway, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Raw 6/10/26 live from the American Airlines Center, Dallas, Texas. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett on commentary, Alicia Taylor on ring announcing. We start off with a Roman Reigns and Vision segment. And when I say Vision, I don't mean Wonder Vision. I don't mean Wanda Maximoff's husband. I mean that group, the Vision, even though it was Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman. We don't need to get into this, innit? Blah, blah, blah. Paul Heyman, blah, blah, blah. Bronson Reed. We know what happened after, man. We saw Bronson Reed talk some shit about Roman's dad and his uncle and all that stuff like that, which, yeah, is crazy. I think Roman said something like, it's funny you bring up my father and my uncle because you didn't know any of them. You're a dumbass. The dumbass next to you did. And then he went on to all of that stuff. Obviously, this is off the back of, we thought it was going to be over when Roman beat Bronson Reed already. But obviously, it's not over because they decided to attack Roman after. Why did this? I told you that at the time, why they decided to attack Roman after. So they could prolong the system. Big up, Daz. So they could prolong what was going on. That's why they decided to do it. Because he injured Roman, he took him off screen, went to do Street Fighter, save, came back. Now it makes sense that he's still walking around with the Tribal Thief t-shirt because they want to sell more t-shirts. No one ain't buying that. It's over with. No one ain't buying that, bro. Forget what Paul Heyman and Roman said. It's not really important. Roman cooked Bronson Reed, basically. Just, yeah, pretty easy. I think if I'm correct, that Paul Heyman went to announce this big match. That's what you want to do. Crown Jewel, Australia. This is what Paul Heyman said. I swear to you, brother, I'm going to get word for word. I wrote there in the quote somewhere. I swear I did. Paul Heyman said, he said, my compliments, that was almost as brilliant as if it came from a wise man, because he was on about Roman copied him in. He said, you want to know who, what, where, and why Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed this Saturday, Perth, Australia, at Crown Jewel. It's a match that Bronson Reed has made famous, in a match that Bronson Reed has never been defeated in a match that Bronson Reed was so dominant in. WWE recruited him from Australia to the main roster this Saturday night at Crown Jewel. Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed, and you guessed it, guys. You guessed it. Drum rolls, please. In an awe-inspiring, battle for the ages, cold-hearted Australian street fight. Now, I don't know if you remember an Australian street fight. You won't remember it because it never happened. I don't know if you remember the Philadelphia street fight. It was a street fight in Philadelphia. I don't know if you remember the Chicago street fight. It was a street fight in Chicago. I don't know if you remember the New Jersey street fight. It was a street fight in New Jersey. And there's one correlation between all those street fights. None of them were in the street. None of them left the arena. All of them had steel chairs, slim gym tables, and trash cans in it, bro. So when a man says a street fight, what we all say is, so basically no disqualification, what you're telling us. No holds barred. All right, safe. Safe, no holds barred, Australian street. Because if I don't see a kangaroo come in and punch Bronson in the face, if I don't see a koala try and strangle Roman Reigns, if I don't see a crocodile nibble at man's ankle, if I don't see a tarantula bite someone in the neck, then allow me with the Australian street fight, bro. Allow me, bro. I need to see a fight outside with the Sydney Harper House in the background, bro. I need that. The Sydney Opera House in the background, the bridge on. I need that. Because this man told us that, first of all, Paul Heyman lied to everyone. I've spoke to Bronson Reed personally, man like Jonah and that, because when he got released from the company, I tried to contact him for an interview and stuff like that. Got cancelled because of other stuff. I'm not rocket scientist and that, and I've got watch-alongs on my channel. I've said Bronson Reed in NXT developmental. So when you say WWE recruited him from Australia in a match he made famous, he obviously, first of all, he must have only made this match famous because he's Australian, because the street fight's been around forever. Second of all, you recruited him to the main roster. So who did I see on NXT all them years, bro? Who North American champ? Who did I see on NXT, bro? Sorry, man. That must have been Big Bronson Reed. I get it. Bronson Reed has never, yeah, but Big Bronson. Okay. I hear it. Obviously, I'm wrong, bro. That's like saying WWE recruited Solo straight from the islands of Samoa, bro, to the main roster. I'm like, so the street. Because I remember Solo being the street champion on NXT. That literally was his moniker. But I digress, Paul. Who am I to say the great Paul Heyman's wrong, bro? But what I will say is, I get it. You need it on the card for Crown Jewel. Just get this match over and done with, bro. It's a no disqualification match. Roman should beat him up. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah, Morris. Honestly, we didn't see it, man. Yeah, Zach. They used to go outside the arena. Now, you know what you know, man. Big up Joe. But yeah, we move on from there. And I think Roman's response to that anyway was, it's fine. It's like, fine, yeah. 2 words, I accept. I hear it. I think then they went to walk off, and then Roman was like, hold on, Dallas. They walked off. They walked in like tough guys, but they seemed to be leaving like a couple of bitches. Then Paul told Bronson Reed to get to the ring, and then they had Paul Levesque's favorite style of wrestling, the all-out brawl. Okay, couple Superman punches. Roman Reigns stands tall. We move on. We get a video recap of the Kabuki Warriors. Let's not talk about that last week. We go on to the first match of the night, Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree. We did cover this just. Maxine Dupree won by countout because Becky was messing around. Yeah. We go for an advert break, then we get Roman Reigns running into the Usos backstage area. This is what I was speaking of before. Jimmy wasn't having it with the Vision ripping their family. He said that there's no way they were out there trying to cut into our family, talking about Uncle Seeker like that. Jay cuts Jimmy off by saying, I like this. Jay cut Jimmy off by saying, I've got your back at Crown Jewel. Roman says, he's good. I don't need your help, especially from Jay. That's what he says. Then he says, they already talk about this. Jay should be hyper-focused on what he's doing. A matter of fact, who's the top of the hour? Talking about the promo, what's about to come up. Jay says CM Punk, and then he storms off. Roman tells Jimmy, I see and I hear everything, so what's your problem with him taking advice from me? And then Jimmy looks like, oh shit, he heard me. And then we move on from there. We move on, we get Bayley talking to, Bayley talking to Lyra, talking about she wants to be in Lyra's corner. And she calls this the future of WrestleMania match in the making. The future of WrestleMania match in the making. The future. It's crazy. Speaking of memories, I also mentioned that Roman has never been stretchered off before. I remember yeah, exactly. That was a good match for Maxine. Yeah, I already spoke before you jumped in. I already said that Maxine was pretty good in that. To be fair, Roman actually is right. He lost title. He's been mugging him off. No, that's why I said that I like it. That's why I said at the beginning of the show, I like it. It's not lose train of thought. Yeah, match in the making. WrestleMania match in the making. Bayley calls this. Okay. Yeah. Bayley does a unique handshake with Lyra before she made the entrance. I don't know when they come up with this handshake together, but they do. We had the match, what I told you last week, when Raquel thought that this was going to happen. Raquel fought Bayley last week. This week, Roxanne fights Lyra. You can't make this shit up. You get into the match. The match is decent at best. It's decent, bro. A few little slow moves in there and stuff like that. Roxanne continues to do I don't even know what to say what Roxanne does in the ring, bro, but she keeps... I don't know if it's just me, man. There's a look that she keeps giving people that I'm like, brother... I don't know, bro. There's something about that look, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. The males in the crowd, I don't know. There's the things that she's looking at her, but yeah, crazy. Real backseat, rolls and truck. Lost my passion for WWE this year. It's so boring and predictable. I agree, brother. I agree. I think Roxanne's trying to cause Raquel's trying to cause a distraction on the ring. I don't like when they do this with referees because it makes the referees look like idiots. If Raquel jumps on the apron and they just start pointing, don't they? It's always been a thing. It's normally managers. They start pointing, whatever, distract the referee. Okay. If you're going to do that, then surely the referee would just send you away at one point like they usually do. But no, the referee didn't see anything, so it's all weird. While that was happening, Bayley ran round, grabbed Lyra's arm so she would stay on the top rope, and then Roxanne falls off the top rope and all of that business and that. Perez performs suicide dive through the ropes, blah, blah, blah. Gets back on the apron. Perez rolls up Valkyria back into the ring. She connects with the Pop Rocks, picks up the victory. Then Bayley snaps. She was doing the team leader thing. Then she snaps and then starts losing her mind. Whatever. Then she starts talking about we need to go get back and all that stuff. So move on. We get a John Cena and AJ Styles video package. Okay. Jackie Redmond backstage interviewing AJ Styles. How has he been performing with the showdown with John Cena coming up, especially with the fact that WWE Universe demanded this match? AJ immediately gets cut off by the Judgment Day, Dirty Dom playing mind games, and then it ends up with a tag team match, bro. 6-man tag team match. Judgment Day are going to fight Penta, AJ, and Dragon Lee. So, coming out of the commercial break, we see Bayley and Lyra get into a massive brawl backstage at the Judgment Day, and then we go CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso segment, because obviously Jey wanted to involve himself in this. I need to say, like, only for storyline, because I don't really give a damn what another man looks like, but for storyline rise and for wrestling, what the fuck does CM Punk look like, bro? Why is CM Punk walking around with the Dean Martin hairdo, with the old school Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, Elvis, Quiff blood, to wrestle him with a pink t-shirt? Let me know, bro. That's your king, somebody. That's your king. And obviously LA Knight was a part of this as well, which was whatever. So I'll tell you what he said. CM Punk does the pandering, you know. CM Punk panders to the crowd every week. I haven't been here for 2 weeks, so indulge me. Well, let's talk about you haven't been there for 2 weeks. Your wife was the biggest talking point in wrestling for one weekend, and we haven't seen her since, bro. So what a waste of time that was. But anyway, since I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I got a couple of things to address. First of all and foremost, thank you everyone for a warm welcome back to WWE from my wife, AJ Lee. We're right around the corner from Crown Jewel on Saturday, in fact. So are you going to see Cody Rhodes take on Seth Rollins? You're going to see Cody Rhodes take on Seth Rollins. And one of the reasons I haven't been here for 2 weeks is because I promised my friend Cody I would keep my nose out of his business. Bret Hart tribute. He ain't dead. I know he does it with his ring gear with the black and the pink, bro. He ain't dead. Brother, go ask Bret Hart if you want people to do that, because Bret's moody as shit, bro. He'd be like, yo, tell this man take off my. Well, anyway, I need answers, bro. He said the reason why he hasn't been here 2 weeks is because he promised Cody he would keep his nose clean and out of his business. What the fuck does you being away, brother? What are you talking about? So you can't keep your nose clean out of Cody's business by turning up to work. You have to be away. Come on, man. Are we falling for this stupid shit, bro? What? You're not even on the same brand? They're not even on the same brand? I gotta be tripping. Ain't Cody the champion of SmackDown? And ain't Seth the champion of Raw? What we? I've never heard this in life, bro. This is the equivalent to Jimmy just having time off. It's like, yo, Jimmy, where you been? Say, listen, I promised my little bro, by a couple of minutes, promised my bro that, you know what I mean, he's got a match coming up on the weekend, so I thought I'd stay out his way. Yeah, he's got a match coming up this weekend, not last weekend and not the weekend before. So tell me again why you didn't turn up. And also, all Cody's been doing is talking. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're trying to fool me with that shit. This championship match, title versus title. Well, I think either title was on the line, so nobody yell me in the back, bruv. Look at this. Hear this line. CM Punk doesn't even know what match it is. He says this championship match, title versus title. Well, I don't think either title's on the line. Oh, nobody in the back shout at me, but it's for brand dominance. How can this match be for brand dominance when all of these turn up on each other's brand anyway, bro? Like, Seth's gonna beat Cody. He's gonna beat him. But even if he does, nobody's gonna go, oh, we think Raw's better than SmackDown now because Seth beat Cody. Brother, isn't that what Survivor Series is for? You could have sacked off this crown jewel match. You could have had Seth. I don't want War Games, by the way, but you could have had Team Seth versus Team Cody at War Games, bro. That's what you could have done. But what the fuck do I know, bro? I only watch the product every fucking week, man. Brand dominance, blah, 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 blah. He said, oh yeah. Another reason why I haven't been here for 2 weeks is because I've been celebrating with my wife because we beat Becky and Seth at WrestlePalooza. Brother, why are you celebrating? Why are you celebrating for 2 weeks of beating Becky and Seth, bro? You and your missus beat Becky and Seth, but Becky and Seth have titles, blood. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? You know what? I don't want to see Maxine Dupree for another 2 weeks if that's the case. And then when she comes back with Otis and Tozawa, Jackie Redmond, go and ask her where you've been for 2 weeks. And I hope Maxine says, you know what? We've been off in Tozawa, Otis and his stomach. We've been off in the Bahamas celebrating beating Becky Lynch. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, pack it. CM Punk, it's time to pack it up now, bro. Make this your last WrestleMania and get out of here, man. This is ridiculous, bro. I hate pandering Punk, bro. Ever since he come back from AEW, pandering Punk, bro. Go watch AEW, the Last Dance, Chicago, when CM Punk first came back after 10 years. Go listen to how brutal he is in that promo and listen to him now, bro. Fucking hell, bro. I'm surprised he didn't say him, AJ, and Larry were celebrating. We got Larry extra treats because we beat Becky and Seth. Get the fuck out of here, man. I started this year beating Seth in the inaugural Netflix Raw. You did, and nothing happened after. I'm going to end this year beating Seth on Netflix. And there's a sign over here saying CM Punk deserves the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, you don't deserve it. You lost it. Got cashed in on. It's fair. All's fair when you have the Money in the Bank briefcase. So you should win the Money in the Bank so you can cash in on Seth. And he said, and I love the sign and I appreciate the passion, but deserve it is the wrong word. Earn is the word because at every turn, when it's one-on-one, straight up, man-to-man, Seth Rollins, I've got your number. Seth Rollins, CM Punk is better than you and everybody knows it. I'm going to get my world title back. Yeah. LA Knight. And let me talk to you, yeah. Then he says, look into my eyes, tell me what you see. I ain't going to lie. LA Knight on the mic is cold, bro. There's a bar, what he said earlier. What did he say, man? He talks about interrupting him and the pipe bomb and that, but then he's basically talking about he's the one who needs the heavyweight championship and all that business and that. Then CM Punk says, is that insulting? He says, no, it's not an insult, it's a matter of fact. What I want to say to you about is everyone out here wants to be loved, everybody out here needs to love, everybody's watching, everybody, even the most jaded person out here wants to be loved. I commend you for cultivating that. It's a beautiful thing. However, as the good of a husband you are and seem to be, my man, you're a trash champ. Yeah, that can't be still. He said, no offense, my man, 5-minute world champion. What happened to you at SummerSlam? Blah blah blah. Seth pinned him. And then CM Punk cut back and he said, imagine it's the same thing that happens to the guy that's never won the championship, right? So yeah, that was all cool. Jay came out. Jay weren't having it. He said, my mind's finally clear. I'm the one who never got my rematch for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. Jay, you're not the only one. Roman Reigns still hasn't had his rematch. The LA Knight says, is this deja vu? Isn't this what he's talking about when we was in Paris? I agree with him on that. He said all of that. But Nana! Yeah. He said, I think you lost your title because you're not quite Roman enough. And he said, that's it. That ain't quite right. I'll tell you this. You're not Roman Reigns. You're not going to be Roman Reigns. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing. That's okay. You carve your own path. But where you carve your own path, your best shot right now, you may want to focus on those tag team titles. Although last week, from what I saw, you probably would have stopped sucking. You probably would have started sucking at being a tag team as well. Yeah! He's good on the mic, bro. Then he said, Jimmy came down to the ring then, and he was like, I think he said, what, Jimmy, I didn't mean to give you any crap. You just caught a straight bullet. That's cool. And then he said, but if this man keeps getting in my way, then I'll off you on switch, bro. It's cold as bro. He said, Jimmy, I respect you and that. And I didn't mean to catch a straight body, but if this man here keeps talking, I'm going to off your switch. Yeah. That's great. Boss. I'm with you there, bro. He's lucky that he's good on the mic. CM Punk starts running his mouth and stuff like that. And then, Jake hits LA Knight with a super kick, gets in the way, blah, blah, blah. Them not start arguing in the ring. Jimmy tries to hold CM Punk back from... Those tries to hold Jay back and CM Punk from fighting. Jay tries to super kick CM Punk. Jimmy grabs him. They chill, and then Punk knocks him out. So when Punk knocks him out, Jimmy has to get his get back because he just super kicks his brother on it. Well, you punched his brother. And he closed out the segment. We get Io Sky promo backstage. I don't want to talk about Io. I can't. Third match, we get Io Sky versus Kairi Sane. Actually, I want to say... Well, okay. I need you to watch the backstage segment between Oscar and Kairi, bro. This is the worst shit, bro. It's the worst shit. Kairi's doing the crime voice now. First, Oscar's cussing Adam Pearce in Japanese. Then she starts cussing in Japanese English, which that's the Japanese that sounds like she's speaking Japanese, but she's actually speaking English. And then she said, I've got a match for you tonight against Io. And this is this is what Kairi does. No, Oscar, I don't want to fight Io in a one-on-one because Io. Okay, I don't understand why she doesn't want to fight Io when you're fighting her on Saturday anyway. Oscar slaps the brakes off Kairi Sane and says, listen, you're going to fight her. And then she screams at her, bro. She screams at her after to get back to the ring. I didn't mind Oscar screaming. I thought that was hilarious. But, yeah, Kairi, man, allow it. We move on from there. And funny enough, the match between Io and Kairi was actually good. It was actually good. It wasn't a bad match at all. I think it showcased Kairi's wrestling moves a little bit more. Didn't care for it, but it was a good match. Kairi Sane ended up winning this match by pinfall, though. Sane uses Oscar for leverage to pick up the pin. After the match, Oscar attacks Sky from behind. And then Kairi Sane hits a spinning back fist to Kabuki Warrior, connects with the insane elbow. They mash her up. Then we have... I need to know why WWE keep doing part 1 and part 2 of video packages. It's a weird thing they keep doing. They did it with John Cena and Brock. 1 week they did part 1, week after they did part 2. They did it with Seth and Cody. The last week they did part 1. Today they did part 2. We don't need part 1 until part 2. What if the casual fans watching, bro? They're only going to pick up on part 2. It don't make any sense, man. Because Zach said, I hate Punk on the mic nowadays. Besides talking about Crown Jewel, he didn't say anything. Yeah, exactly. I don't think Adam Pearce understood. He didn't understand, but all Adam Pearce wanted to get in is, I'll make it official. All right. We get that's your line and that, but you're doing too much, bro. What was the next segment? We had a history of Cody and Seth. After that video package, we went to the Vision's locker room. Becky Lynch complaining about the crooked referee in a match, and then we get left with Seth. I didn't mind this between Seth and Paul Heyman, and obviously people are going to be like, "Oh my God, Paul Heyman said this," but really, I think Paul Heyman's trying to motivate him to beat Cody, which makes sense to me. So Seth tells Heyman that he needs to talk. Seth reiterates his point of he needs to win on Saturday. Heyman says, "Seth, you will win," and then Seth's kind of like, he's like, "No, I need to win." And said, "What will happen if I don't win?" So Paul's face changes, and he said, "Well, you lose the locker room. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed will lose faith in you, and you'll throw away everything we've built into WrestleMania." Now, my question is, when you started the Vision, you wasn't the champion, so why would they lose faith in you? Second of all, they both lose every week anyway. And third of all, who the fuck cares, bro? Like, who cares? But anyway, then Seth says, I noticed something, you left yourself out of the equation, so what happens if I lose that crown jewel? And then I think Paul Heyman says to himself, then I'm going to be asking why I picked you over Roman Reigns. And then Seth's face is all boiling. And I didn't mind it. It doesn't make sense. Big up Y4, bro. It doesn't make sense that he said it, but the actual promo was good. It's just the only thing is like all this, you're going to lose faith in you and what we built since. You've not done anything. You've not done anything, bro. Seth won the briefcase. Seth cashed in the briefcase. What? You get Jay complaining to Roman Reigns in the backstage area. Jay doesn't know why Jimmy was out there, and he said, I was trying to run the play. Jay asked Jimmy if he's trying to protect Punk. Jay says that Jimmy's better recognize what's on his side, and then Jimmy says he's on Jay's side, and he walks away. Jimmy sees what's going on with Roman and Jay, and he says that I see you, Roman. I see you pulling the strings and playing mind games with Jay. Roman tells Jimmy that he should listen to this. When Jay won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, he became more like Roman and less like Jimmy. If Jimmy really wants to help his brother, sometimes you need to stay out of his way. I respect it. We find out that Bayley's going to appear on the 6 Feet Under podcast, which I don't care, but Big E will be appearing on Watch Your Story, which I'll watch that because Big E's not in the ring anymore, so I would like to find out about his injuries and how he feels. Fourth match of the night, we got AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and Penta taking on the Judgment Day. I'm just going to go to the result. I don't give a shit about this match, man. Listen, Judgment Day, Finn and JD are champions. So why can't Judgment Day, Finn and JD fight against Penta and Dragon Lee, and then AJ Styles can fight Dom on his own, and then he can go and fight John Cena on the weekend? Nobody cares, man. They pick up the victory, Styles and them, man, and then AJ Styles grabs the mic, and this is terrible. AJ's not the best on the mic anyway. He's never been the best on the mic. But he says, now that I've got a second to talk, this match at Crown Jewel between AJ Styles and John Cena, he said, we don't need a story. It writes itself. You've got two men who will dance for the last time, and I promise you this, we'll leave everything in the ring, and it will kick ass. First of all, nobody says it will kick ass, bro. This is not 2003. People don't speak like that anymore. Second of all, I think AJ's probably not throwing shots, but I think he's trying to throw stuff back to people like me and people who are content creators and people who are doing dirt sheets and that, because all of us have said John Cena versus AJ, no story. So I respect that he's saying it, but really you're trying to paper over the cracks on it, because we can all be assured that AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he's been one of the best wrestlers in the world. But that's all he is, and he's not great on the mic. So, yeah, John Cena versus AJ on the weekend's gone. I'm going to predict it's going to be we'll do a prediction show on Thursday, but I'm going to predict it's going to be a great match. It's going to be a great match. But who cares, bro? After the match is done, when it's 1, 2, 3, and John Cena wins the match, nobody cares, bro. And then AJ's going to retire next year. All right, fine. Because one of my favorite matches was John Cena versus AJ. The one when John Cena beat him for the title, the last time they fought. I thought that match was great. It was like 2017 or something, but yeah, man. So, all right, I hear it, AJ. I hear it. Then we get the CM Punk and LA Knight are in agreement that they want nothing to do with this match. All LA Knight wants is this match is for Punk, doesn't affect him, doesn't get himself pinned. So they have a tag team match, CM Punk and LA Knight versus the Usos. I'm bored of this already, so let's get straight to the end of it. I don't understand why they do this weird thing where Jimmy pushes CM Punk, but Punk goes into Jay, and then make it into a problem on the show. It's a fucking tag team match. I don't get it. But then LA Knight hits him with the BFT. Jimmy invertedly shoves LA Knight into Jay. Knight ducks the clothesline from Jimmy, hits him with the BFT. Jay super kicks LA Knight. Punk rolls Jay over for the 2 count. Jay ducks the clothesline from Punk, and then Jay spears Punk. Goes to the frog splash. He ends up kicking CM Punk off the apron. No, he goes to kick LA Knight off the apron, and then CM Punk rolls him up, picks him up for the GTS, and then LA Knight tags himself in and wins the game. I'm just gonna say it. LA Knight tagged himself in and took the victory away from CM Punk in a tag team match that nobody cares about. It didn't mean anything. Like, finally, LA Knight's got a pin on Jey Uso. What does it mean? There's no title on the line. There's no title opportunity on the line. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. So, and I promise, you're not waiting for what happened next after the show. Nothing happened next. Paul Levesque and Lee Fitting comes up on the screen and we go off air. That was your Raw review for 6:10:25, bro. But yeah, man, let me get to the comment section before I get out of here. Joe says, what is it like at WWE Live when you go to, because I'm going in 2027 for the first time. You're going in 2027? They haven't announced 2000. They can't announce 2027 matches yet. I'm confused, bro. Let me know. Let me know. Because you can't. They haven't announced anything for 2027 yet, apart from Saudi Arabia, unless you mean WrestleMania. And for that, I can't tell you, bro. Especially with Saudi Arabia, I couldn't tell you what it's going to be like. But the live shows, they don't do much anymore. They do like they just used to do tours in it, but now they do like a WrestleMania not revenge tour, but like a WrestleMania tour and a Christmas tour. That's kind of it. Yeah, I mean, there's not many throughout the year now. Yeah, SmackDown will be midday, 1 o'clock, I think it is. And then Crown Jewel's going to be at 1 o'clock too. I'm fine with it though, because it's fine for me, bro. I'm not complaining. Question: is it going to be a triple threat match for Dom IC title? Because now you have Rusev, Penta both going for it. That's exactly what's going to happen. What will happen is Penta and Rusev will have a match on Raw. Because I don't think they're going to put Dom on Crown Jewel. They'll have a match on Raw. The match will end in disqualification. Dom will get involved or something like that, and then they'll make a triple threat match. Tomorrow, NXT versus TNA. That's going to be great. Yeah, I think it will be. I mean that when I'm planning to go, because the closest one for me would be Birmingham, and that is when they go 2026. Birmingham, what? England? But why are you skipping a whole year of wrestling now, bro? Bro, nah, Joe, bro, you do know that 2026 comes before 2027, isn't it? Like, we're not going 2025 straight into 2027. Because they ain't announced all the live shows for 2026 yet. They didn't announce the Birmingham show up until like a month before, 6 weeks before. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It must be Alabama, bro. But even then, they don't announce it yet. I don't know. Anyway, you can comment anyway because I'm about to get out of here. So if I don't get to answer your questions, comment, put it in the comment section. Big up to everyone in the chat. I'm gonna go on do some internet surfing, see if I can find any stories on HUGO Online. So hope you lot well. I hope you lot enjoyed the show more than you enjoyed Raw. We're about to hit the hour mark, which is perfect for me to jump off. I don't know what's coming up next. Obviously, NXT versus TNA tomorrow. So if you want to see my reaction to NXT versus TNA, head over to my TikTok, same name, Savage Talks Wrestling, and my TikTok's got the reactions over there. Before anyone asks me, why is your reactions not on here? One, if I do it as a short, which I can do, you can only get a minute in, which means I need to edit it even more. Two, YouTube with copyright and TikTok are two different. TikTok don't give a shit. They don't give a shit at all. In fact, everyone's content on TikTok is copyright because they don't care about getting paid over there. So, yeah, that's why it's on TikTok. So just watch on TikTok. Don't complain, man. I hate people. People always complain. Oh yeah, what do you do on YouTube, brother? Most of you have TikTok, bro. I don't even use TikTok, but I put it on there. So go watch it over there, right? Anyway, head out of here. Morris, you're doing a live. I don't know why you're asking me about this watch along. Do you not remember what happened the last time I did a SmackDown watch along? I said I ain't doing it because it was terrible. It was terrible. It was nothing but ads, bro. So I'll see how I feel. I'll see what they announce for SmackDown and if it's any good. But I'll tell you this, and it won't be good because go home shows nowadays are not good. They phone it in. They just do whatever, and then they're like, yeah, there's no point doing it. So I ain't gonna do it. More than likely, it's at 1 o'clock. I'm probably just gonna go. Well, no, watch some movies. I'll see what my son's doing. If he's going out, then maybe. If not, then nah. And I don't know what days England playing on as well because I might end up doing. Let me check before I get out of here. So I'm probably gonna watch one of the football matches. Although they normally do them in the Wednesday. I'm guessing England's playing Friday, isn't it, this week? Friday. Was it tomorrow? The fuck? Is England playing tomorrow? No, it's normally Wednesdays and Fridays, isn't it? Or Wednesdays and Saturdays. England national team match 6th of September. 6th of September, October and the 9th. Which is in 2 days. Thursday. Against Wales. As a friendly. And then Latvia on the 14th. That's okay. Oh no, nobody cares about that. Anyway, yeah, Zach, there might be a time travel in the chat, bro. We got the time traveler still, bro. Let us know if wrestling is going to be good in the future so I can cancel the whole channel. But anyway, I'm gonna head out of here. Everyone watching, big up to you, like again, big up to Ends for the redirect. Anyone who's in the chat and isn't subscribed, subscribe if you care about wrestling. If you don't, then don't subscribe. But you can subscribe on Hugo Online, where we talk about movies, music, news, fun shit. So we can do that over there. And something's getting posted on there today. That's a fact, bro. So head over there, man. And then you can go over there, let me know what you want in the comment section, then I'll see if I can react to that as well. Sure, there's some movie stories out that I wanted to talk about anyway. I think some doomsday stuff, but we'll get to that. Love for the love. Big up to everyone in the chat. You already know the vibes, man. And yeah, man, go and enjoy the rest of your day because I'm about to get the hell out of here.